Hello, welcome to One-on-One. I'm your host, Greg Walker. No, I'm just having a bad hair day. That's the reason for the cap, folks. I've got Austin Peay State University Governor, head football coach in the house with us today, Will Healy. Now, this show's being taped September the 27th of 2017. The governor's losing streaks, they're over. They're ready to embark on a new era of governor football here. They're 2-2 as we speak. UT Martin coming to town Saturday night at 6 o'clock, and then this show will also air after that game, and we'll be getting ready for Jacksonville State on Saturday as well. Today, we're going to talk to Coach Healy, and we're going to talk football. Oh, we may get a few X's and O's, but we're going to talk about the Govs, the OVC, and much more. Settle back, relax, enjoy a fun, down-to-earth conversation with a nice gentleman, a solid head coach, and a good man. Will Healy joins us right after these words.
It's the Bottom Line Model Year-End event at Matthews Nissan, Clarksville's favorite new car dealer.
You're going to love our selection.
Save big on remaining 2017s. Lease a new Altima, $189 per month. Lease a new Rogue Sport, $159 per month. Or lease a new Sentra, $149 per month. Unbelievable. MatthewsNissan.com.
You're going to love our prices.
You're going to love our prices. Matthews Nissan.
The Leaf Chronicle is now available on every device you carry or don't carry. All things Clarksville in all media 24/7. Subscribe now for full access.
For 100 years, Neil Tarpley Parchman Funeral Home has celebrated legacies with services as unique as each life.
Neil Tarpley Parchman, people who care, a name you can trust.
Welcome to our show today. Austin Peay head football coach Will Healy's in the house.
Hello, sir.
Always good to see you, Will.
Good to see you.
How's your family? How's the boy and the wife doing?
They're doing great. Eli is almost 3 years old, which is hard to believe.
It is amazing.
He'll be 3 in November, and he is a wild child running around our house, running around our football offices, and at practice all the time, and just can't get enough of it. And our kids are really, really good to him. He has a blast. We've got, 6, 8, 10 kids of guys that are coaching at our place that bring their children up there, and they all run around together, and they have a blast together. And so Eli's doing great. Emily's doing much, much better after a couple wins.
She's a true coach's wife, isn't she?
She is. She's very involved. Those kids know her. She is extremely supportive of what we all do as coaches, but she's really supportive of those kids. I mean, she's involved in recruiting. She's involved with assistant coaches and their wives, and she spearheads all those efforts too. So there's nobody who deserved to have some success as much as she did. That meant a lot, all that she's done to help us along the way. And then my parents and brothers and everybody are.
I asked you about your parents. Do they come to most of your games?
They do, yeah. They missed the Miami of Ohio game, and I think that's the only one they've missed this year. But they'll be at all of them. They'll be here this weekend for the UT Martin game, and my brothers and everybody. So we'll have 35, 40 people a weekend when we have home games. It'll come up from Chattanooga and come support us.
It's a family affair.
It is, and they're all bought in. They're all having a blast, and they're proud of what's going on.
And I want to mention Emily again, and of course, I don't know her well enough to say this, but I know what she does well enough. And I say she's a coach's wife because it really takes a special person to be a outstanding coach's wife. Would you agree with that?
Oh, there's a special place in heaven for coaches' wives.
It really is. All the pressure that you have to take, and it's right on them, it's the same. It's no different. Now, the Govs are 2-2 as we tape this show. We told you, September the 27th, 2017. And the first two opponents, Miami of Ohio and Cincinnati, of course, they were FBS opponents and money games, as they are called some. And then the Governors got their win to break the streak against Moorhead and then beat Murray, as we speak, a week ago to knock that OVC losing streak, the longest losing streak in the OVC away. And we're tired of talking streaks, losing streaks, aren't we? We're on a 2-game winning streak. And the Govs have UT Martin coming to town, as we said here this morning, Saturday night at 6. And then this show will also air after that when Jacksonville State will be coming in the next Saturday. Coach, this is right now, after 4 games, this is sort of the heart with Martin, Jacksonville State, TSU back to back to back, wouldn't you say, your schedule?
Yeah, preseason, these are the 3 teams that most people pick to have a shot to win the conference.
And they're all 3 ranked in the top 25, by the way.
They're the 3 ranked teams from the conference. They're all extremely talented. The fun part about it is I think our kids have taken a lot of pride in breaking streaks. One of our mottos is be the first. The last time we won 3 games in a row was 1986, and those kids know that, and they kind of they have fun with trying to be the first ones to break all these streaks and create new traditions. And there are none of them who feel like that they are a reason or have been part of what's happened over the previous streaks. I think they all. It feels like a total different team, total different program. It's not like you put pressure on them by talking about losing streaks or what this program's been in the past. I think they've embraced what's happened. I think that they obviously came here for total different reasons than to continue a losing streak, and they have fun flipping it. I have 2 goals. One is that there's no place in the country that can give student athletes a better experience than what we do. Going along with that, I know how it is to be a graduate of the University of Richmond, and I watched Richmond go from national championship to down to now back up again. And everybody wants where they went to school and where they played to be good in football.
Well.
And I want to make sure that the guys who have played football at Austin Peay are proud of what's going on at our place. I want them to want to wear Austin Peay gear around and all those type things. And that's what these kids are trying to do. They want to make sure that people who have played here in the past take pride in what's going on right now with our future.
Well, the whole atmosphere at Austin Peay has changed. The atmosphere in the city has changed. They're not lovable losers. This program has changed since Will has been here, brought in top flight assistants. Top flight. Of course, the stadium, the changes there have made a world of difference. It's no doubt. And these guys are learning how to win. And, Coach, when you say to me, and we talk, he's got 105 that you have to look after. Am I correct?
That is correct.
105 players that he has to look after. But, folks, when your scout team, and players that have been brought in that will be eligible either next year or later or whenever, competes mightily with your regular team, that's nothing but good for our future, and things are just getting better and better, aren't they, Coach?
I could not feel better about what the future of this program is. We've got, obviously Austin Malota, the transfer defensive tackle from Oregon, is one of the best I've ever seen, been around, coached, any of the above.
Draft choice.
He's a draft pick. There's no doubt about it. Probably could come out with not having played this year and still be a late rounds, free agent type kid. If he comes and he has a great year next year, and stays healthy, he could be a mid-round draft pick, and he's that talented. Great kid, even better human being. I mean, really, works his tail off, really athletic. Just you love having kids like that around. You add Nate Howard to the mix, the defensive end we took from
beautiful,
Missouri.
absolutely a beautiful specimen.
Another great kid. Obviously he had some misdemeanors that were on his record and needed a fresh start. And we do our research. I
know you did.
And we ran him through the ringer a little bit, through the gauntlet before he got here, and made him. I kept telling him, if you want it to be easy and you want to just take somebody who wants you to line up and go play snaps for him for game one, then you need to go somewhere else. I'm going to make sure that you're getting the help you need, that you're being held to a really high standard, that you're not making the same mistake twice, and you're going to have to work at it here. You're going to have to prove to me that you deserve a scholarship offer from, at that point in time, an 0-12 program. So that's the fun part about, to me, the kids that have transferred here. I've made it difficult on them to see if they wanted to be here bad enough where they really wanted to change. I'm selling to you a different experience. I'm not going to let you get away with what you've been able to get away with before. I know that from a wins and loss standpoint, you're not picking Austin Peay because they'd won a bunch of championships and you're just trying to jump on a bandwagon. But I'm going to try and get your life straight, and you're going to be part of a turnaround of a program. And so the ones we've taken have been those type kids, and they've been so much fun to give a second chance to. We're going to, as talented as we are on defense right now, as well as we are playing on defense right now.
And we're not going to talk statistics today. We decided we wouldn't. They're up in all the categories in the OVC.
Well, what we put on tape last year was not acceptable in high school ball, much less at our place. And, I feel really good about. We got young kids. We got kids that aren't playing this year due to transfer rules, that when this team lines up in the spring, we'll look totally different than we did this fall. But I tell them all the time, competition is going to make everybody better. And my goal, and I don't ever recruit a player that I think is going to be a backup. I don't ever sign a kid that I expect to be a backup. I try to recruit and sign better than what we have in our program right now, because I think that competition is going to make everybody better and step everybody's game up, and that's what we've been able to do with these recruiting classes.
And that's the reason this program is going to be successful. And regardless what's happened, look, they're 2-2, but I'm telling you, success is here and it's coming. Now let's go over the pluses and minuses for your club after 4 games. And I'm going to start with special teams, Coach. Give me your pluses and minuses. We got a 45-yard field goal the other day. I love special teams. I love a field goal kicker because every team's got to have one. It's imperative to win that close field position game. How do we stack up?
The field goal was huge. I think Logan Birchfield is kicking the ball very well. A pleasant surprise for us. I think he's been consistent. I think he's not over swinging at the ball, and he has the opening kickoff against Murray that he duck hooks out of bounds
tries to
overkick it. And when he just it's like a golf swing. When he's smooth with it, he's very accurate. Been very proud of him. It's been kind of, the coverage teams have been exceptional. Punt and kickoff cover are off the charts good right now. Kickoff return and punt return, we are not dynamic enough to. We've got great athletes that can return kicks. We have to be more of a weapon back there, and it's been a whole unit, but we should be explosive on kickoff return and punt return, and we hadn't done anything to really help ourselves there.
I do like the coverage, the way you talk about the coverage unit. So, hey, it's imperative, especially when you're playing tough defense. We
had one of the things that we saw last year. So when we watch film of somebody's kickoff team, if the kickoff team is inside the 30-yard line when the ball is caught and received, then usually that team has pretty good team speed. When you go and you turn on the film from us a year ago, we barely have guys inside the 40 when the ball is caught. Now we got guys inside the 30, and we're running better, and we're covering kicks a lot better than what we were a year ago.
And I'm going to say one thing. We got to take a break. but I watch as much football as anybody, Coach. I mean, as much as anybody probably. The guys that bring the ball 4 yards or deeper out of the end zone that's kicked on the return, I'm going to say that 7 out of 10 times or more they don't get to the 25. If it's 4 yards deep or more, go to the knee and take that 25-yard line. Please do that.
I'll work on that for you.
We'll be back right after this.
The Leaf Chronicle is now available on every device you carry or don't carry. All things Clarksville in all media 24/7. Subscribe now for full access.
Talking football with head Austin Peay football coach Will Healy. 2-2 as we speak today. UT Martin. Saturday night, 6 o'clock, Jacksonville State. The week after that, we'll be rolling in to Forterra Stadium to play the Govs. Boy, doesn't it feel good to have a football team and feel confident, and regardless of what happens, we're going to go into that game, you feel like we're going to be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you're in two different programs from a year ago.
It does.
And the kids feel it, like what they do is finally important to the students. I mean, the professors are now talking about it. I mean, you'd be shocked at what these kids had to hear in the classroom a year ago. No,
I wouldn't. Because I went to college when we had bad teams.
Yeah. But it's fun for these kids to be supported and encouraged, and I mean, this is why they came to our place. I mean, I promised them a chance where we would have top 15 teams in the country rolling into our place, and it would mean something, not just because it's the first home game. You're past the first home game. Now this game still means something. People, you're still not getting the respect that you want. I mean, we want to be a top 25 football team.
Martin's 18, Jacksonville State's 4, TSU's still 25, 24, depending on which poll you look. We talked about special teams. All right, the pluses and minuses after 4 games. Defense. Obviously much better.
Yeah. And
didn't have to go far to be better, but right. They're much better.
You don't even, it's comparing two total different
apples
teams.
And oranges.
It's probably the biggest, the reason we are where we are right now is because of where we are defensively. A week ago, we hold them to 5 yards. We hold Murray to 5 yards in the first half and 88 yards for a game.
Yeah.
I've never been
unheard
of a defensive game like that before. I've always felt really good about the staff we had on defense, and I told you that a year ago. Even with the statistics that we put up a year ago, I think it's the best defensive staff I've ever been around.
By the way, if you didn't know, what did we decide a year ago? When were you coming back on the show?
After I won a game.
That's right.
I agree. I wouldn't have even showed the shows.
You wondered why I didn't have him on before the season? Wasn't coming back till we got win, where we could talk about winning football, because we knew it was coming.
So that defensive staff's done a really good job, and we're just so much more talented. We lined up with a 205-pound defensive tackle last year. And now we're 320, 325 at defensive tackle, and we're harder to push around, and we got some guys who can speed rush off the edge a little bit. I think our linebackers are continuing to understand our defense and get us lined up. Malik Davis, the safety, has made a huge difference in the secondary from just being able to get things on the ground. Gains of 12 this year were gains of 75 last year on the exact same play. And Cordell Jackson, and you're playing with 3 out of 5 new ones in the secondary, but they're tremendous upgrades, and they're playing really hard. They're playing together. They're playing passionate football. We're creating turnovers.
Playing hard, playing together as a unit.
I think we created maybe 9 turnovers a year ago, and I think we're already at 8 or 9 this year. So turnovers have been a big difference as well. But just very proud of what we're doing on defense.
Let's go to the offensive side of the football. How you feel there?
I feel like that we've shown our highs and we've shown our average. We, from a talent perspective, have a chance to be really dynamic on offense. We showed it against Moorhead. We showed it in the first quarter against Murray. I think we're really solid up front on the offensive line. We have very, very good talent on the offensive line. I think they're well coached. Josh Ergel does a great job with those guys. They're physical. We're 7 or 8 deep.
It starts there, folks. If you're not good on your offensive line, you'll never have a good offense.
So you're right. That's where we start. And I feel really good about those guys. I think we are 4 deep at running back, which I've never been before. Kentel Williams, what he did last year was exceptional. Ahmad Tanner, the freshman from Dalton, Georgia, is a beast. Trey Nation, the transfer from Illinois, he's another. So we're sophomore, freshman, and we're 4 as good of 4 running backs as I've ever been around. The 2 quarterbacks are very, very, very good players. Most people say you play 2 quarterbacks because you don't have one. I'm playing 2 because we got 2.
Well, Spurrier didn't feel that way when he was at Florida, did he?
He did not.
He went with a hot hand.
Yeah.
And I'm a Spurrier fan, so I can see both.
So both of them have played really well, done some really good things. I think we're electric at wideout. We're talented enough there. We're still getting into a groove there. That group has not played a whole lot of football together. I don't think we're throwing the ball downfield near as well as I would like
I was going
to.
to ask you about that, Coach. We haven't shown we can throw the football over 15 yards.
Yeah.
Little play action. If one of these guys can be accurate enough with the running game that we have shown, the play action pass and the deep threat, it's got to be there sometime or another.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think we need to throw more trick plays and things into it, and not. The hard part about it is you're averaging 6.7 yards a carry, and if you take one of those and you go take a shot on first down, and you get to 2nd and 10, then you're not quite as efficient on offense because you now have a chance to get behind the chains, and so we have to be willing to take more chances. You get into some 2nd and 2, where you still feel good about what happens if the ball's incomplete on 2nd down. Take some more shots down the field. Give our weapons at wideout a chance to go make plays, and make ourselves more difficult to defend. The other thing about it is we're not throwing the ball. We're not as accurate on even the easy passes. I mean, we throw a swing route against Murray that's 5 feet over the running back's head. We have to be 100% on those type things.
Sure.
We got to throw more screens to the wideouts, get them the ball quickly, and let them go do things in space. We have to not be afraid to throw quick game. There's a lot of the run pass option stuff we're doing where guys are open. We're just scared to throw it to them right now. So we've got to continue to develop confidence in our pass game. And I tell them, if you'll do it in practice, I'll feel better about calling it in a game.
Amen to that.
And we're learning that.
Amen to that. Overall, though, are we ready for UT Martin?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that what a great test for us.
It is.
I mean, you're at home.
And what a great test for you to beat the game. I'm not so sure Martin will bring a good crowd. That stadium, I'm going to be surprised if it's not close to full for Saturday night.
It'd be awesome.
It's going to be close.
There is, that crowd at Moorhead was what it should be like every
it'll
game.
be more than that. It'll be more
just
than that.
Loud. Everybody was into it. Those new things that Ryan's added to the end zone, those new box life suites down there, closes that thing in a little bit. We got our new goalpost up.
Had to raise the play clock a little bit up.
Yeah, we did. We
got one goalpost up. Did you get the other one up too?
Both are up.
Both are up.
So that today was the first day.
First day.
Yeah.
Stretch run, head coach Will Healy has joined us. We'll be back right after this.
Lisa New Sentra, $149 per month. New Titan, 0% APR financing. Great selection, great savings.
You're gonna love our prices. Matthews Nissan.
For 100 years, Neil Tarpley Parchment Funeral Home has honored legacies. We believe every family deserves a special time of celebrating a life well lived.
Neil Tarpley Parchment, people who care, a name you can trust.
It's the Bottom Line Model Year-End event at Clarksville's favorite new car dealer. Lease a new Altima, $189 per month. Lease a new Rogue Sport, $159 per month. You're going to love our prices. MatthewsNissan.com.
Folks, we've only got a minute 40, and we need more than a minute 40 for this, but we were talking about it here. You know, I wasn't for playing this extra game at Central Florida between SEMO and Tennessee Tech. I thought we needed the week off, beat SEMO, and then get ready for Tech. It beat us last year. But you've made a case for Central Florida, and I think it's a good one, and share it with the folks.
Yeah, Ryan came to me.
Because they're very good.
They're very good. Yeah, I mean, they'll be a top 25 team by the time we play.
They beat the devil out of Maryland, who beat Texas.
They got a big one this week versus Memphis. But Ryan came to me and said, it's your call. You do what you want to do. They've called me. They've asked me if you would like to play this game or not. You let me know what you want to do. So the first thing I did is I asked the assistant coaches and I asked the kids, what do you want to do? The assistant coaches said, let's go do it. I think it's a no-brainer. I asked the kids, and you'd have thought it was Christmas morning. All they want to do is play another football game. I think it says a lot about how much fun they're having playing football right now. I think they understand I'm going to take care of them on this trip. I'm going to make sure my number one deal, and I told Ryan this, and he's 100% for it, let's make it an experience that they'll remember for the rest of their life. Let's travel the right way. Let's stay in the nicest hotel. Let's make sure that we take them to Disney World or Universal.
The beach?
The beach. Let's do all of it. Let's walk through at the Citrus Bowl. Let's make sure this is an experience because the kids picked to play this game, and I kid you not.
And they are a very good team.
They're really good.
They are.
They're really good.
They are really good.
But so is Martin, so is Jacksonville State, so was Cincinnati, so was Miami of Ohio.
Hey, Coach has been great as always.
Appreciate you.
Give
Thanks
you folks
for all you
my
do.
best.
I'll do
Thank
it.
you. You know I love you. He's got the it factor, folks. We're going to do it here at Austin P. You can count on it. For the coach, for yours truly, till next time, have a nice rest of the day, folks.